Hi, this is Phoenix, the College Success Professor. I help students optimize their college experience by sharing the tools, resources, information, and strategies that you need to be successful. Today, it is almost the end of May. It is peak graduation season. It is peak hiring season for those of you who just graduated from college. And I'm going to talk to you today about some online tools, resources, and information that may help you get the ideal job for after you graduate. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, then stay tuned. So, as I mentioned, we are in peak hiring season. According to the National Association of College and Employers, NACE, there is a 16% increase in hiring for companies. So those of you who just graduated, it is great for you to get out there and to put your best foot forward. You should have a variety of different choices and options. And one thing that you should note is that your first job out of college will pretty much determine your direction for your career. So you want to make sure that you make this decision of your first job that you're going to take out of college carefully, make it with great thought, do a lot of research on the company that you're going to go into. So that's what this video is going to help you to do. So many of you already know that LinkedIn is a go-to place to find jobs, to find information about companies that you're interested in. But there is a lot of additional resources that you may not know about LinkedIn, and I'm going to talk to you about those today. So if you already are not on LinkedIn, definitely jump on LinkedIn and make your connections on LinkedIn. But LinkedIn also has, they just put out in the beginning of this month, a 2019 grad hiring guide. And that resource has a lot of information. I will link it down below for those of you who do not know about it. It has a lot of information for those of you who are just graduating from college. So I'm going to reference some of my notes because it's a lot of information. So I'm going to share some of that information with you. But if you want to read the in-depth report, definitely check it out. The 2019 grad guide for getting hired has a lot of good information. It talks about the top industries that are hiring entry-level people. It talks about the top companies that are hiring, and it talks about the top the popular jobs for new graduates. So I will talk a bit about each of those things and share some information about each of those things. But one of the most key things that I think that students should be aware of is that some students are going to need to develop some skills they need in order to get the job that they would like. And one of the resources that is in the LinkedIn guide is the top skills that people are going to LinkedIn Learning, which is another platform within LinkedIn where you can learn the skills that you need to get a job that you want. So they're talking about technology as one of the skills. They're talking about data analysis, data science. They're talking about artificial intelligence. So those are the skills that, according to LinkedIn, people are going to LinkedIn Learning to learn more about so that they can get hired for the careers and in the industries that they're interested in. So if you are at the beginning phase of your college, your post-college job search process, and you are finding that the jobs that you want have identified these specific skills that you may not have experience in, or you don't have enough experience in, then that is possibly a thing that you might want to consider, is to get some additional training to develop those skills so that you can be more employable after you graduate. So in addition to the hiring guide, the information in the hiring guide, LinkedIn also has something for those of you who have just graduated from college, or those of you who are just looking for a job in general. It's called the Economic Graph. And because LinkedIn is such a big resource of information about jobs and skills and information, it uses all of that data to create an economic graph, identifying what skills jobs are looking for, where the skills gaps are for different industries or different regions. So it has a lot of good resources and information. They have more in-depth reports for specific regions like Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., New York, Atlanta, but they also have an overall U.S. economic graph, and they update it monthly. So that's also a good resource for you to bookmark and keep on record, for you to know, what skills or resources or types of jobs are being hired where you are. It's also good to note that many students, or some students depending on where you are, if you would like to move, sometimes more opportunities are available if you move to a different location that your industry is in need. And LinkedIn is a good resource. The economic graph on LinkedIn is a good resource. They identify skills that are in need depending on the different region that you're in, skills that are in surplus. So if there's a lot of people who know technology or who know engineering in your industry, you might want to consider moving to a different location so that the skill and the industry that you are in will be in demand, so you have more of a choice as to where you go. So that's one of the top resources. LinkedIn definitely is a great resource for you. It has the grad job hiring, and it also has the economic graph that you can continue to look at throughout your job search process. So the other resource that I wanted to talk to you about, and it's key because one of the books that I've read and will continue to do and reference, and it's so much good information, is There's Life After College. And one of the points that the author made in the book is that the first job that a student takes out of college is very key in determining their career trajectory. He also mentioned that it is not uncommon, or it is recommended for students to continue, it is also recommended for graduates who are new to the workforce to keep looking. If they are not in the job that they wanted when they first graduate, to keep looking to help develop opportunities, to help develop their salary, to help improve their salary, to help improve opportunities. So job hopping from the author's perspective is not a bad thing. You want to make sure that you are positioning yourself for your long-term future career success. So one of the other resources that I would like to share with you are two websites that will give you some insights into the company culture, into the work environment of the job or of the company that you are looking to be hired in. One of those resources is Glassdoor. They post salary information for different opportunities for you for the college. They post salary information for different companies. They give you in-depth information on interview information. Sometimes they even have the questions or the interview process that people have shared who have gone through the process, and they give you a real feel for what it's like to work at the company. Vault is also a good resource. I believe that resource you have to have a membership with. Some colleges and universities, if you're an alumni and they have Vault as a resource, you can look at that. But they also give some in-depth information about specific companies, specific industries, and what it's really like to work within a particular field or within a particular company. So those are two great resources that I would suggest you look into as you do your research. One of the things that I also read in the book, There is Life After College, is that many students do not take the time to fully research the company, not only to prepare for the interview, but seeing is that company culture going to match with your personal values, your interests? Is it going to be a place where you can grow and develop as a person? Is it going to be a place where you will be able to move up the ladder, where it's going to train you, where there are going to be mentors, where there are going to be opportunities for you to continue within your career? Which is why he also mentioned that many people jump in and out of positions because they haven't done that proper initial work. You don't want to just consider your salary. However, if salary is important to you, it should be among the top factors. But you should also consider other factors which are key for you in your career growth and your career trajectory. Is it important for you to work with an industry leader? Is it important for you to work with a company who has the same social values as you? You need to think about all of these things before you actually jump in and accept the offer. One piece of information from the There is Life After College book that I recently finished was that if you have the additional resources and ability to do some additional education after you get your degree, if you didn't get a chance to get all that you needed when you were in college, is that there are schools, there are post-college finishing schools, the author refers to them as, that will help you to gain the credentials, the skills, the knowledge, the information that you need to get into the industry or the field that you want. I think there were 3 mentioned in the book, so I'm going to share those with you. The first was Venture for America. It's very similar to Teach for America. I'll link all this information down below. But Venture Up for America are for those of you who are business majors who are interested in getting into the world of business and you didn't necessarily have the skills or experience or job references in order to get yourself a job in that field. Venture for America, check out their website, has a program whereby they will give you the skills and information that you need by working for various businesses, startups, and ways that you can work for a startup, get the experience that you need, possibly stay with that startup, and then you can be successful as far as that is concerned. So Venture for America, definitely check them below. The other two organizations pretty much focus on technology skills or technically related skills, but they also do some other skills that are needed as far as the world of work is concerned. The first is Global Academy. That is a place you can go for, I believe, 6 months or up to a year, depending what your interest is. You can go and get some certification, get some skill development in various areas. Global Academy. And the last place was Fullbridge. The last institution was Fullbridge. Fullbridge.com, I believe, is the web address, or just Google Fullbridge, but I will link it down below. That is also a place that you can go and get some additional skill development after college, some additional credentials, or some additional information that you need in order to get the skills that you need for the job. So that is it. I hope you gained something, gained some knowledge, gained some insight, gained some strategy for you to make a successful job search so you can choose the best first job for you. So thanks for watching.